place for it to enter the house and not have cable going everywhere. So
Okay.
anyway, it seems to be working okay.
It works great, man.
Yeah.
You can tell. Sometimes when you're talking and there's an internet issue, you'll freeze. You'll be like this.
Yeah.
But
I
your
saw
voice
you
is still
froze
going.
you froze once or twice there just for a split second, and then
Yep.
you were right back on. I
And that
haven't
may
caught out
happen.
on you, have I?
No.
Okay, good.
If it happens, all you do is just keep talking.
Oh yeah.
Because people will
That's
hear
what
your
you
voice.
did, and you just came right back on. You know, it was just there was no problem. The only thing that locked up was the picture.
Exactly. So I've had that happen, a couple times where during an interview, well, it was with Joe Pappas.
Yeah.
The first part of that, there was a storm when we were starting.
Yeah.
He lives up in Michigan, way up in East Dumb Jesus, where he said there's nothing up there, in the woods.
Yeah.
He has a lot of internet issues. Well,
I haven't seen Joe in a long, long time. I mean, wow. I mean, we know who we know each other by reputation, but I probably wouldn't recognize him if I walked by him on the street, but.
Did you ever see our interview that we did together?
Yeah. I watched that podcast. Yeah, it was great.
We need to get Mike Fons on here.
Yeah.
I'll text him today.
Here's what we'll do. Let's see how this goes, and then I don't know what you picture here in the way of segments that you want to do this in. Like, I know you want to do at least 2, right?
Oh, at least 2 or 3,
or maybe 3.
Yeah.
And if I only took you from the time I got my driver's license through and including 1973. But there's a lot of stuff in there. And that brings fun. You saw I brought Mike into the picture there quite a bit. I watched him build his Pro Stock car, his first Pro Stock car.
Now, is that one of the Rod Shop?
No, this was the Dick Arrons Racing Engines 1968 Camaro. It was a clone of his 69 World Championship modified production car.
Okay.
Except it was, of course, it got to include all the enhancements that you were allowed for Pro Stock in 1970, fiberglass front ends and stuff like that.
Yep.
But nobody had big tires in 1970. There were no real tub cars until 71, as much as I can remember. Because the thing came up fast. There was no time to build, everybody just converted cars they already had to be legal for the rules. And part of the rules for 70 were fiberglass front ends, which helped a great deal. And then you could change the seats and stuff that you would normally expect. But Mike built a new car because he had to, because his 67 Camaro that he won the championship was not legal. Okay. The first rules in Pro Stock were you had to have a car that was 2 years old or newer. So Mike had to build a 68 car, and Booth already had a 68 car, so that wasn't much of a problem for Wally. He could convert. But Mike built a new car, and I watched him do quite a bit of the work in it. He built that car in his garage on Everett, right in Berkeley, Michigan. I mean, like 5 blocks from where Arrons' shop is. Arrons was located inside of Midwest Auto Parts, which was a big-time sponsor of race cars in that era, and really great guy, Ron Reeder. It was quite an experience, because Maskin and I were building our car at the same time for 70. This was all for the 70 season. Mike was building a Pro Stock car, and Maskin and I were building a modified production car. So everything was the same, only a little bit different, because Mike could do stuff we couldn't. But it was fun days.
That's what I'm saying. No one knows this stuff. This is the stuff that people are going to go crazy over.
Yeah.
Because we all want to know. We only hear bits and pieces. We want to hear from the horse's mouth. The guy that was in that garage, the guy that saw him put rod to that frame.
Yeah.
The guy that freaking worked with Maskin, and I heard bad things about him, that he was, that's why his name was Dick. He didn't fool around. He told you this is how it's going to be. I mean, he was very frank. He's a very frank fellow. Absolutely. I've known Richard since, I explained that all in the extension, but 1967, so we were, in fact, when I met Richard, I'm actually 3 months older than he is. So I met him, he was 19 and I was 20. Okay. And at Motor City Dragway in Detroit. Yeah. Yep. And then
we've been hooked together ever since. Until the day he died. I talked to him probably 2 days before he passed. I talked to him in between when Arrons passed and Maskin passed.
I tried to get I was in the process of trying to get an interview with Richard.
Yeah.
I had his home address and I was going to write him a letter, all within probably about 2 weeks. And then he passed. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. That came on rather abruptly at the end. He had issues with Lewy body dementia.
Oh, yeah.
That stuff just takes you out.
I know all about it.
Yeah. So you just froze up there, but I can hear your voice. Okay. Yeah. It wasn't fun, I'm sure. I didn't get to his bedside, but I talked to him probably the week of his passing for sure. Okay. And because we were discussing Arrons, and that's how quickly it came on at the end. It was just all of a sudden he's gone. So
I never knew that Arrons was a big engine builder. I didn't really know his role.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he taught us all.
I thought it was Booth that did the engines, but
he did. Oh, I mean, he did too. Well, in fact, in the pro stock days, in the super stock days, Dick did all that stuff. Dick was a really great super stock engine builder and did our modified production stuff.
Okay.
But when the pro stock days came along, Wally got heavily involved in. Wally worked at Cadillac and GM. He left his job, and decided, okay, we're going to do this. And he left GM, and him and Arrons got together. And then, then they had a minor falling out here and there, at the first year of pro stock, when Booth always floated back and forth between Midwest Auto Parts and Arrons and Diamond Racing Engines. Okay. His 69 super stock car was a Diamond car. When he got the Chrysler deal that he raced for 1 year, he parked his Camaro, but he didn't get rid of it. And that became his first pro stock car. And that was, in the era of the Rat Pack days. It was after the Rat Pack article came out, I think, that Wally took a deal with Chrysler. And that's when he raced a Super B and Super Stock E, I think. E or D or E, or both.
Yep.
And it's going back some years.
But it's fun to remember.
I mean, 53 years, it's no big deal. No, that's longer than that. 69. Hell. Whoa.
Yeah.
54 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arrons, Maskin, and I are 56 years of being friends. If this year in 23, 7 and 6 or 13, 56 years. Yep.
Dang.
Small world.
86 now, I think.
Wally's 86. Yes. I see Wally once in a while still.
Maybe he'll want to do one of these or come on with all three of us.
Well,
you don't know.
It might be like pulling teeth, but if we should probably get Merc in it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, this will be good for part one, and then we can see if I'll work on it. I'll let Fons get a flavor of it, and then I'll hook him in. Mike moved up north. He's in mid-Michigan somewhere. He's around Houghton Lake someplace. Okay. Woodinville or one of those cities. The last time I saw Mike physically was at Wally Booth's 80th birthday. Yeah. Okay. That I actually physically laid eyes on him. We were really, really good friends.
Funny, he's a strange guy. Like he's, one time I talked to him and he was all into it. Then I never answered my calls or emails. And then one day out of the blue, he just called me and I missed the call. I was doing something and I looked back and then I saw it. And I mean, it wasn't even 5 minutes. And I went back and called him. No answer. Never heard back again.
Did you, you saw that thread of mine probably on Facebook about driving a stick shift car back then compared to now? Did you see that thread?
I haven't. You know what? I haven't even had time to do it yet.
Yeah, you want to read that. That's pretty good. And that's that's the only time I've ever seen Fons come on Facebook and respond to something.
Okay.
I was, wow, you are alive. So
Well,
yeah, but he wrote a comment in there about, I guess we did teach guys about a lot of things back in those,
right,
yeah, and he used the word we, so that I felt included, so that was fun. But it was, those were great days. The stuff today is so expanded and so spread out, and back then there was only 6 or 7 national events.
Right.
I mean, so, and you didn't have to go to 16 points meets to get in.
Right.
That's where I lost interest in it at the end of the day, was what I would have to do to keep going to national events and racing. That's why we'll get into that later. But I had a comp car 2 years ago, and it was real fast. And then when COVID hit, that just wiped me out. I just said, I'm not going mask racing. I could get it. The beautiful part was I could get into any race. You didn't have to have grade points in comp because it's not a crowded class. But if you're going to try to race a stock or a super stocker or a super gasser or something like that, you're done unless you got 6, 8 grade points.
Okay.
So it's really it's not like the old days at all. So
let's do this. We've been talking for 17 minutes and 27 seconds.
Okay.
Let's end it there. What I'm going to do is we'll end it, and then I'm going to send you a link to your email.
Okay.
You look at that. You don't have to watch the thing, obviously, but just look at it and see.
I want to.
Okay.
I want to see my screen open up.
Hell yeah.
Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Maybe I'm looking at what I'm going to see. I don't know.
Well, here's the other thing. What I can do is I can change things around on this and make it so we're bigger and not by car. This is what popped up. Let me see if I can change it now. I don't think you can. Oh yeah. How about that?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And my background looks the same. What I'm looking at on my screen. Pop it again. Yeah, it opened it up. Now you can actually see those. That's my A stick car in the background. That was 2018 at Indy.
You want to do it like this?
Pardon me?
You like this format?
Yeah, this is nice.
Okay.
I mean, this is pretty good.
You can send me pictures. If you send me pictures, or I get them off the internet, I can upload them on here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Like I can do this. Let's see. Let me find something I can put down. Here's one. I can do stuff like that. I can make a banner, the bottom. I can put pictures. We can do, there's Rusty Glidden, Darren Morgan. There's the heads from Bob Glidden's 79 car.
That's showing up on my side of the screen above my pictures.
Yep.
It's actually on the ceiling.
Yeah, it is. Or I can do this. Like if you wanted to talk about a certain picture, hey, I want to a picture. I can do stuff like that. So we can put in different things.
Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, well, like when we're talking about when Maskin and I built the first modified car in '70.
Yep.
I can send you a shot of that car.
Yeah, send a few.
Yeah, so I'll hit you with a bunch of stuff. I'll send you a bunch of pictures.
All right, and what I'll do is
you got all the controls, not me, right? I mean, I could move my camera and show you around, but
you can do that.
Yeah, I could do that.
What it looks like.
So yeah, Google him. He's a guy. He's a guy. You'd be a great guy to get.
We'll get him on.
He'd like doing it too. He's the type. He's got that type of personality. So he'd be a really good interview.
We're gonna do it, man.
Okay.
Do it.
All right, send it. Well,
all right,
I'll send
your way.
I'll send you some stuff.
All right.
Okay,
talk to you later.
You got it.
All right. See ya. There it is, guys. Love it. DragBoss Garage. Always seeing and learning something new. Stay tuned.